All right, ready to call to order the August 19th school committee meeting. Everybody join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Righty, we'll start with introductions to my right.
Dan Poisson, Ward 5.
Lydia Chapman, Ward 4.
Misty Edgecombe, Ward 2.
Corin McWiggin, Ward 1.
Sue Doris, Superintendent.
Pat Gaudier, Ward 3.
Jay Rich at large.
Adam Platt, City Council Representative.
Amanda Kuchar, Business Manager.
Scott Denier, Assistant Superintendent.
And Pam Albert is out today. She's excused bringing her youngest son off to college, so I hope that goes well for her. Moving on to the consent agenda, which includes the approval of the agenda, approval of minutes from August 5th, and recommendations from the superintendent for the following certificated contracts pending appropriate certification and/or license. Angela Shildroth, Mark Herman, and I would like to entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Okay, and all those in favor? All right, motion passes. Moving on to recognitions, we have none. Public participation, I don't see anyone. And on to our presentation. This I'm very excited for. It's our Full Plates, Full Potential Grant. And
Thank you very much. We have Chris Piercy and Chloe Lendy here tonight to tell us a little bit about the Full Plates, Full Potential Grant and the school-based food hub.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate the opportunity. Just wanted to start with a little bit of background, if I could. 2 years ago, in partnership with the Lewiston and Lisbon School Nutrition Departments, we were recipients of a USDA School Food System Innovation Grant to support our goal of increasing the sourcing and use of Maine-grown foods in the school meal programs while addressing the logistical barriers related to the sourcing, processing, ordering, and storing of these foods. It's a 4-year grant that is due to expire on June 30th, 2028. Just a quick background on the team. It's led by myself. I am the School Nutrition Director for the Auburn Schools, in addition to Kylie Welsh. She's the project coordinator who came on board with us halfway through the year last year, filling the position Lily Gardner previously held. Her tasks are coordinating collaborative district events, overseeing the data tracking, and supervising the food corps members in completing the reporting requirements attached to a USDA grant. Chloe, who's here with me today, is our food corps member, who we are excited to welcome back for year number 2. She assists in the nutrition program with the day-to-day operations, recipe development, in addition to leading cooking classes with students, conducting taste tests, and soliciting feedback from the students on the meals we provide. And of course, I'd be remiss to not mention the whole school nutrition team across the district as well. To give you an idea on what it looks like and where it is, the processing hub is located at the Auburn Middle School. Hands-on work with fresh food took off last summer when we did over 5,500 pounds of local vegetables that we processed in a 2-month span. Throughout the school year, we continue to purchase local produce and process it as well in the hub, especially when using large quantities for taste testing and new local menu items.
So a significant component of our work in streamlining local procurement across the 3 districts involves taste testing new local foods and recipes in the cafeteria. We have a list of some of our goals, one of them being expanding and diversifying the school meal offerings. Our taste tests typically follow the Harvest of the Month program. It's a program offered by the Department of Education, known as the DOE. Schools can register for the program by hosting and pledging to do monthly taste tests. Menu items featuring seasonal local source products. The program also provides promotional and educational materials for schools to teach students about local foods. The data from the taste test is counted and collected, then communicated to the school by our food corps member, which is myself. It's often in the format of a school-wide broadcast announcing the results, as well as a social media post. The data is also communicated to each district's nutrition directors, so a decision can be made on whether or not to menu the item. Food Corps trains us extensively to host these in our districts with a guide, as they are an integral part of getting student voices in the school meal programs. These events demand a month-long work schedule to execute a taste test properly and complete it with a checklist with a detailed timeline to help the event be as successful as possible. Student input is very vital when looking to make changes to an established school menu cycle, because these changes can be hard for students and sometimes scary. We try to celebrate the inclusion of new foods and recipes across the 3 districts, and this offers students a voice when it comes to menu decision making. Besides taste testing, our grant has provided us the resources to interact with students outside of the cafeteria and in their classrooms. So through cooking classes, student-led food groups, as well as garden clubs, I have been able to elaborate on the importance of the local food we procure through hands-on learning. A capstone project that I did last year to wrap up the school year was create a school-based food hub cookbook with the other 2 food corps members and the other prospective districts, which has basically, like, I guess, school kitchen compatible recipes of all the recipes we taste tested, and then eventually menued throughout 3 districts.
So to give you an idea on last year, we were able to purchase products from 33 local farms and businesses, in addition to increasing our local food offerings for each of the last 3 years. The produce that we source from local farmers and food distributors for taste tests or school menus, they are 50% reimbursable by the state of Maine through the local food fund that exists in the state. It's a statewide opportunity that helps to incentivize school districts in their school nutrition departments to enhance their local procurement by helping offset the sometimes higher costs associated with these products. And we are incredibly thankful to the Lewiston, Auburn, and Lisbon communities for welcoming our project and vision. We would like to especially thank those mentioned here, who provided us the opportunity to advertise at their community events, giving us another platform to raise awareness about local foods in schools. And just as a coming attraction, if you will, last year we did a farmers market at Park Ave's open house, where we gave out, worked with community businesses and whatnot. We were able to give out free produce bags to the students who attended the open house. We have one planned for a Washburn's open house this school year. And just wanted to thank the many businesses and organizations that help the students experience the farmers market at their school. We appreciate the opportunity to present tonight. Happy to answer any questions or, thank you.
Thank you.
No questions really, but I'm just wanted to say good job. And thank you so much for the work that you do. And I know when we get the greenhouse moving, that's part of a bigger picture to help sustain this. But I love it. And I think it's wonderful just when people ask about the school department and what do I do? What do I like to do about this place? And one of the things that I tout is the innovation of our school nutrition program. Our children need this fresh food, this local food, and with the socioeconomic community that we have, we have a lot of kids that don't have the food at the ready, but we've been able to feed them, and that makes me Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks. I just want to echo what Corin said. This is a great program for multiple reasons, and I love that you include different foods for the kiddos to try, because I think sometimes it can be scary to try something new. I like that there are different things each month for them, and then they get a say on their menu. This is nothing what my cafeteria experience was like as a kid, and so I love this experience for our kiddos. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thanks. I have a similar comment and also a question. I am kind of blown away with the variety of food that you guys are able to get the students to try. I thought it was really cool that harissa chicken, I think it was 97% approval rate. That's pretty cool. I was disappointed to see that fish cakes were only like 60%. Kids get to eat more fish. But
We're working on it.
it's a polarizing food. I understand. My question, and it is somewhat in the context of the greenhouse and kind of why we're doing that, and what that could possibly create in the short term and the long term. Are you aware of any school departments across the country even that are like farming at quasi-commercial scale as a high school class to produce for the school department? Is that something that's done in northern Maine or the Midwest or wherever it may be?
I can speak on that. Yeah, so leading up to the implementation of the greenhouse, we did a lot of outreach to local schools who have greenhouses installed and running programs. Off the top of my head, I could think of Gray and Belfast and Falmouth as some schools that we talked to who have designated garden coaches that lead programming in those spaces. So it's definitely possible. It's really exciting to see that the space is being created here in the district and what possibilities that can lead to. But through conversations with those garden coaches and some site visits as well, the quantity is really impressive, as well as how students want to be involved with that, not just harvesting, but also production and sort of incorporating that into nutrition programs in the school.
And I kind of think I appreciate the nutritional element of this, but I think of it also as a vocational pathway for folks. And I know that, we're investing a lot in vocation here in Auburn, but I think long-term about what the greenhouse and what a program like that could do for students. And I think about, pumping out professional farmers who can contribute to that community and that economy locally. That's a very long-term thought, but I think there are a lot of farms locally and landowners locally who would help make that happen, but it's a long-term vision.
Sure.
You must put a lot of time in during the summer. You work all summer?
Do I look like it? I feel like I look tired right now. Yeah, we definitely we have a core summer group. That was part of the appeal, was the ability to give staff time to work in the summer. We do a summer meal program, but one of the challenges to the state of Maine, obviously, is the growing season and the school year. It's over in the blink of an eye, and it's right when school's opening. So yeah, we work in the summertime. We process a lot of potatoes. We did probably 20 gallons of tomato sauce today. Tomatoes that we harvested with local peppers, local onions, local garlic, local basil. So the grants really give us the ability to kind of experiment a little bit. And then we were fortunate to hire a processing manager this year, paid through the grant, who can kind of put all the data together and give us really a snapshot of what the cost would be to kind of carry this expense, if you will, and develop recipes and really hone in just better locally made food for the kids. So yeah, we had a busy summer.
I didn't have a question either, but I just, again, wanted to echo what everyone out here is saying, and it's really impressive. I follow the Facebook page, and I love seeing the recipes and everything that people are trying, and I'm a huge proponent of local food and local access to food, as you know, and so it's just nice to see this happening here, because it would be easy not to do it. And so it's nice that we're working hard to make sure that we're supporting local farms. I think that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great team. I mean, day in, day out, it's, what can we do? What do we feel like is possible? What what it would take, and then just trying to make it happen.
You had said the grant runs out in 28.
28.
Does that renew automatically, or do they have to renew, or is there a guarantee, or is there?
We have to spend all the grant funds by the 30th of June in 2028. I don't anticipate it renewing after that because it's just a 4-year cycle. Might there be other opportunities? For sure.
That's something else I've noticed, that you guys are very, from watching the greenhouse and having conversations with both of you, I know that there will be no stone unturned, left unturned, to find resources to continue a longer vision for this. Thank you for that.
Welcome.
Anything else? All right. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you
And
all.
Is it possible to get a copy of that present? Could you email that to me?
Yeah, for sure. We also have a end of the year report. We have a mid-year report. We're happy to share it all with
Oh,
anybody
yeah, I
who
would love
wants it.
that. That would be great.
They're also on the website,
Oh.
which is on the Auburn District website, I
Okay.
believe. Yeah.
Perfect.
We trying to stay up with it all. You know how it is with that stuff, trying to keep up to date. But yeah, happy to.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Next is school committee student representatives report. We don't have a school committee, a student representative at this time. Just a quick question. Do we have someone in the pipeline?
I think we will have a
Okay.
few students, hopefully at the next meeting or in one of the meetings in September.
Yeah, I think my daughter mentioned, oh, so-and-so is going to, which I'm very excited about.
It's coming.
It's coming. Okay.
They're coming.
Yeah. Superintendent's report.
Yes, I have one.
Yay.
Yes, we are excited and ready to welcome staff and students back next week for the 26-27 school year. And I want to thank our staff, our administrators, the Public Works Department, and city personnel for all they have done behind the scenes throughout the summer to get things ready for the new year. The staff workshop days are Monday, August 24th and Tuesday, August 25th. The first day of school for our students in kindergarten through grade 8 and grade 9 at Edward Little High School and at the Franklin School is Wednesday, August 26th. And then students in grades 10 through 12 at Edward Little High School start on Thursday, August 27th. And then lastly, our pre-K students begin school on Monday, August 31st. And we are looking forward to another successful school year.
Wonderful. City council update, you got anything for us?
Nothing earth moving, but sure, just a few updates. On the meeting on Monday, just 3 items that came across the docket. First, there is a citizen-led petition regarding the flock cameras that came across the clerk's desk last week. So that's a petition that is asking for not the banishment of flock, but basically to make it illegal for the police department to put flock cameras up. So that, by default, now comes across the table of the city council. So the city council has to vote on that, can't amend it, so either can accept it or reject it. If it's rejected, it goes to the people to referendum. If it's accepted, then it's enacted as is. So that's obviously a hot topic in the news, flock cameras, so that's just something I wanted to bring up so people know about that. Happy to shed more light on that if anyone has any questions. Second, the city passed the final reading of the mobile home park rent stabilization. Again, I only bring that up because it's all over the news. Also, perhaps there are students who live in some of these parks, so good for us to know that has occurred. And lastly, there was some fund appropriation for the Home for Good project, which is housing over kind of just up the street from the old Webster School, which will provide 32 beds for homeless folks and those that need. And so that project continues to move forward. So those are the 3 updates for Monday.
Awesome, thank you. Committee reports. Finance Committee agenda is linked here, and as are the minutes. Does anybody want to give a little brief on that?
let me pull up the minutes real quick, make sure I don't forget anything. I know we have an update on the HVAC at East Auburn. And Scott, you can cut in here. I know if you would like, I know you're very excited about this project, but
You want to do it now or during facilities?
facilities, yes, we'll pause that one for facilities. But we have an update on the HVAC as it pertains to finance. As you guys will recall, that was a large portion of last year's bond. So that was an $800,000 bond. So we'll get into that in facilities. I mean, really, it would just be a report on financials, which you can check out the, there's are the financials linked in the agenda? They're linked in the agenda, but without getting into much detail, everything is essentially on track, as you would expect for this time of the year.
And the policy subcommittee met yesterday. The agenda is linked. And facilities. Here we go.
Here we go. It was a great meeting. We had a lot to cover. The first piece was talking about the boiler room and systems taking place at Edward Little High School. We're continuing to work with Harriman and subcontractors to really try to get some corrective action taken place on the water pressure, the water temperature, and the water volume, water flow, to make sure that the geothermal system is working up to its full capacity. At the moment, it's not, and so we're working on those remediation steps. So that covers what's taking place there in terms of the system. This is the time of the year when it's working its hardest and trying to keep it cool. We have the backup boilers that will help supplement any kind of heating needs through the winter, but this is the most challenging time of the year. But the building is staying very, very comfortable. I've been in many, many times, and some folks have long sleeves on, and others are perfectly comfortable how it is. But John McGinley, our systems operation manager, is doing a magnificent job of not only maintaining what needs to happen for all the systems to be operating correctly at the high school, but making sure that all of the technology is staying cooled according to its specs and pursuing all of the remediation work that needs to happen with the subcontractor. So that continues to happen. Any questions there? Great. So the other piece that we have talked about, because we had used some funding from the capital reserve, was for the CTE spaces that needed to have documentation for the changes that needed to happen primarily with the auto body composite shop because of the addition of the spray booth, as well as some other ventilation needs that needed to take place, some electrical upgrades. Those weren't in the original. So because of that, Harriman needed to just kind of bring them back to the engineers to make sure that everything was going to be installed, the equipment was going to be arranged so that it would meet code, and so we're waiting on those documents to come through. So once that happens, then it goes back to code and the fire marshal, and so when we had done the walkthrough and inspection, they were right there side by side so that there wouldn't be any surprises. We're really fortunate to have a great partnership with the city, and Chris Bowden has been very instrumental in trying to be able to make sure that these projects go through very seamlessly, but meet the standards that they're supposed to. Any questions for that? And then, so starting next week, we'll be having interviews for the managing director for the Donald M. Gay Performing Arts Center. So we've been in need of a replacement there, and so we have some outstanding candidates, and so next week we'll be having interviews.
Wonderful.
I also saw on, I think, Facebook, we have an athletic director position open at EL. Is that correct?
Athletic trainer.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that brings us to AMS. And so we met yesterday with Harriman to kind of review some of the pieces that are taking place there. We just got the contract yesterday for the appraisal of the appraisal that needed to be done for the land survey for the National Park Service grant. The traffic study is continuing. Fortunately, we were able to have our traffic study partner with the city's traffic study. Contract has gone through there, and we, I think yesterday they had reported that we should get some results back from the traffic study probably in another 3 to 4 weeks. We continue our ongoing meetings and reviewing costs as well as budget documents and just the concept and timeline of the phases. So that continues to happen with our partnership with Harriman, and continuing to make sure that we're dialed in from the concept to the construction documents, and then from the construction documents, those are the ones that are used to go out to bid, and that's projected, that's still hitting its mark. We're anticipating that that will still happen end of January, beginning of February, so that we have bids by March. Any questions there? And then the new business, which was the HVAC summer project at East Auburn, which has been going along extremely well. I'm there regularly. I was there again today. The ER unit, which is the unit that just does all of the work to move the air and recycle the air and condition the air. That came on the 11th. It was installed, and things are closing up. For those of you, Patrick, our custodian out there, has just, if you ever see Patrick, he works here in the building. You got to take a moment to stop and thank him. He is there stripping and waxing the floors right now, doing the backfill of the work. The furniture in the classrooms are going back in. The control panel work has been happening the last couple of days. They'll be doing balancing on Friday, balancing the air with the control systems. Those folks have been in as well, and so from there, it's just doing the minor adjustments, moving ahead, but they are moving their mark, and everyone's working really hard to make sure that all of the spaces in the buildings are set and ready to go for Monday. So a lot of work and a lot of great coordinating and effort on everyone's part to be able to do that. And then the last pieces were for me to update the facilities committee on the work that, the approvals that you had done on the backup water pump at AMS, the gasket replacement and compressor for Park Ave, the fire suppression system at Fairview, the greenhouse installation. It's happening. Drove by this morning. The frame is up. Amanda met yesterday with Unitil to make sure that the connections are going where they're supposed to, and that there's a coordinated timeline of when that happens, because we have to coordinate with Chris and his work, because some of the equipment in the kitchen runs off of gas, so we need to kind of do some of that moving around and make sure everyone knows when this is going to happen. Thank you, Amanda, for taking that on yesterday. But greenhouse is going full steam ahead. And again, the hatch enlargement to facilitate moving the modules out of the basement for the geothermal system. Again, something that you had approved. Any questions on your approvals from the meeting before? And then last, the summer work is always the things that you can see are easy. That's the cleaning and stripping and painting that have taken place. But Mark Kelly and his group just did an incredible job on the work that they had to do this summer from, oh my gosh, I didn't even bring that list. It was quite extensive. He had a 5-page punch list of items to do at the middle school. They've done some paving to go from the sidewalk to the playground area at Walton. They've done some paving and step replacement that came out incredible out at East Auburn. They've been doing projects literally in every single school. Things that just can't be done by the custodians because they're doing the cleaning and the refurbishing and the painting. So it was quite an exhaustive list of the things that they accomplished this summer, as well as there'll be some things that will happen on the outside of buildings, because right now the focus is on the inside of the buildings, so that when the doors open next week, we're ready to go. And so they'll be doing some things on the outside, some more wood chips in some certain places, but a lot of wood chip work happened throughout the summer at the elementary schools. So lots and lots on their part. And I talk with Mark Kelly quite regularly, and so I can't say enough about the great work that he and his staff do. So thank you to them, and we're doing everything we can, and we always hit the mark, so that next Wednesday when the doors open, we're ready to roll. Any questions in regards to facilities?
That was quite thorough. Thank you. And then, old business, there is none. New business, there is none. Listing our upcoming meetings, and we're back on our regularly planned, schedule. So we'll be seeing each other more now that school is starting. Future agenda items or requests for information? Okay. All right, I would then like to entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Motion passes. Have a good night, everyone.